Hello, everyone. How are you guys all doing tonight? It's good to see everyone. Annie, it's so good to have you here. I've missed you. Hey, Jamie. AJ, always good to see you. How are things down under? Hey, Fig. Good to see you. I'm glad you came. Hey, Tech Death. Good to see you. Yeah, my intro music on my actual intro that's got my name is from Tech Death. He's amazing. So, yeah, great music. Hey, little Pookie. It's good to see you. So, I kind of missed you guys. we haven't been together since last Thursday. So, I hope everybody had a good weekend and a wonderful Easter. Hopefully you got to spend some quality time, possibly with family or friends. So I hope that everybody got to enjoy that. I wanted to talk tonight about a few different things. It's kind of going to be a mishmash, I guess, of a bunch of different topics. But so bear with me, but I think we'll have a good discussion. We're going to talk about aggression online and dealing with it. There's been a lot of aggression going on online recently, and I wanted to address it and talk about it just a little bit on how we can deal with that as a community and, of course, as individuals if it's coming at us or we're being targeted by it. I also wanted to talk again about, obviously, this Indiana largest CSAM case that supposedly has come out of the Delphi murder investigation. So I think that'll be good to talk a little bit more about that. I also wanted to talk about how predators have infiltrated social media, and not just predators of children, but predators of adults as well. So I thought we should talk about that. And I have a video that I want to show first. And this video is from the Libby and Abby sub on Reddit, but it's actually a news blurb from Channel 13. And what I thought was interesting is that it shows a map of the Klein home that was searched on February 25th, 2017. It also shows where the girls were found on the 14th. And then it also shows the man looking into the window on February 20th and of 2017. And I just thought that that was kind of interesting. So just give me a minute here while I share this with you guys. And we'll watch this video, and I hope it will sound good, because it's crazy sometimes it doesn't.
Investigates is uncovering the first link between a fake social media profile run by Kagan Klein and the unsolved Delphi murders. So far, he has never been charged, but Klein was arrested in August of 2020 on 30 charges of child exploitation and pornography. In the transcript of that 2020 police interview with Klein, just a few days after the bodies of Libby and Abby were discovered in Carroll County, another school-age girl gave her address to the Anthony Shots profile. That girl was getting off the school bus when she says she saw a man in a ski mask looking into her bedroom window. Now, Klein personally knew the girl and her family. And then 5 days later, police raided the home where Klein lived with his father in Miami County. They found over 100 sexually explicit images of underage girls on several devices. Now, in the 2020 interview, police questioned Klein about whether his father had access to those devices. The person behind Anthony Schott's profile was one of the last communications with Libby German before her murder. And after her death, the Anthony Schott's profile told another person that he was supposed to meet up with Libby, but she never showed up. But look at what police told Kagan. Quote, I can honestly sit here and I'm telling you that I do not believe that you killed Liberty.
Okay, I just want to stop it there for a minute. There was a couple of things about, hey, Grizz, good to see you. Hi, Digital. There's a couple of things here about this video that struck me. First of all, the fact that the map, and I don't know if, I don't really want to go back there, but if you looked at the map, you could really see the location of where everything was. And I really don't think it's that far in reference to those points of where everything happened, as far as it being the Kleins being suspected, because when you look at that map, it's really not all that far to me anyway. But this quote that's right here about, I can honestly sit here and I'm telling you that I do not believe that you killed Liberty. And that's the investigator, of course, that was doing the interview of Kagan in the jail when he was arrested, that we've all seen, the 194-page document. But anyway, I wanted to say two things struck me about this. Why would an investigator who is investigating a murder, a double murder, tell somebody that they're looking at and asking all these questions of, and they know that this person has been in contact with one of the murder victims? Why would they sit there and say, I can honestly sit here and I'm telling you that I do not believe that you killed Liberty? Now, you notice in that statement, he doesn't say, I can honestly sit here and tell you that I do not believe you're involved in these murders. And that struck me. Does that mean that he could be involved in killing Abby? It just something that stuck kind of in my head, and I just wanted to bring it up. So I just found that odd, and that whole language and lingo there a little bit interesting. And the person who posted this on Reddit also felt that way. So, yeah, I just thought that was quite interesting. I know they were talking to Kagan about Liberty specifically because that's who he was speaking to. That's who he said he was supposed to meet up with, and she didn't show up, and all of those things. But anyway, we'll finish listening to the video.
Kagan Klein is not charged with the killings of Liberty German and Abby Williams. As we've mentioned, police did tell Klein, though, they believe a second person was communicating with the girls using his devices. Klein did not implicate his father either. Now, police are not saying if he has been questioned in the Delphi case.
So, yeah, I mean, I just feel that stuff is all pretty interesting to me. I thought that not only the fact that the Anthony Schott's profile was connected to another incident just days after Delphi, I think that's highly suspicious as well. I do think it's all related. Interrogations are not facts. I mean, I guess that's one of the things that I wanted to bring forth here tonight when we talk about interrogations, because people need to remember that law enforcement can lie in interrogations. It's completely acceptable for them to do that. So we need to always remember that when we're looking at these interrogations on what the police are saying. I definitely think that there's a reason why they keep pressuring him. about this and in the different angles in which they approach it. But the guy with the ski mask is very bothersome, and the fact that that happened just days after the murders. But I just believe that, Anthony Schatz is connected to both of those in some fashion. I think it shows a killer who has no care, or a person who has no care about risk. The insanely risky behavior that this person has shown, both in the murders and the activity that may or may not have been going on with the Anthony Schatz profile. I just think that this guy is really dangerous, obviously, to be able to just do this in broad daylight, especially. The ski mask incident is in broad daylight. The murders were in broad daylight. And I believe that he is a very, very dangerous criminal, more so than what may have even been imagined. I definitely feel that it's very possible, again, that this whole Anthony Schatz situation, that there's some other people that are involved with this profile, and it's not just Kagan and Tony. So until that comes out and until we really find out more, that's going to be a possibility in my head, I think, forever, that I'm just going to feel like there's more people. I do think it is sickening, though, to think that there could be multiple people involved in this, no matter how we look at it. And I will still continue to go back to law enforcement telling us that we were going to be so surprised when this finally comes to a close, and to how it closes. And I just don't think Kagan and Tony are enough of surprises for me. That's just how I feel. There's something else there that's going to surprise and shock us. And I don't know what it is, but I do believe that it's going to happen. And that was 2 years ago. Those interrogations that we're going over and dissecting happened 2 years ago. And we really have to look at things now. And the only thing we really have to go off of is the Barbara McDonald interview, which was so short. However, I do believe that Kagan was throwing his dad more under the bus in that interview than he did in any of the prior ones that we've seen. So that was something that I did want to share and kind of talk about. It just was something that I felt worthy of us to go over tonight. One of the things, the other topic that I found that I thought was interesting, and I know we've talked about it a little bit on the channel, but I wanted to talk about it again tonight. One of the things that the Internet Watch Foundation did, it's a nonprofit organization out of England, and their mission is to eliminate child sexual abuse imagery online, which, what a wonderful mission statement. I don't know how they'll do that, but boy, what a great thing for them to be working on. They recently released an analysis of online predator victimology and the nature of sexual abuse media that is currently prevalent online. And I found this extremely interesting. So it was something I really felt the need to share with you guys. The scope of their report covered the whole of 2020. And in their annual report, the numbers are as this. They assessed nearly 300,000 reports in 2020, wherein a little more than half of these, like 153,383, were confirmed pages containing material depicting child sexual abuse. Compared to their 2019 numbers, there was a 16% increase of pages that were hosting such imagery or being used to share. And for these confirmed reports, the IWF were able to establish the following trends. The majority of the children are all female. There has been an increase in the number of female child victims since 2019. In 2020, the IWF noted that 93% of the child sexual abuse material that they assessed involved at least one female child, and that's a 15% increase compared to the numbers in 2019. So it's not getting better, it's getting worse. And I think it's something that needs to be noted. Obviously, we need to do better somehow. We need to come up with something, whether it's government, law enforcement, whether it's local, state. I think everybody together. I think this is going to have to be a collective thing that's tackled globally for us to really make a dent in it. Females dominate the victimization type in online child abuse imagery, and on the other hand, imagery involving males has significantly decreased since 2019, from 17% to 3%. I found that shocking that it went down so much. Online predators are after children ages 11 to 13. The IWF counted a total of 245,280 hashes, unique codes representing different pictures, videos, or other CSAM, the majority of which involve females, where a child victim is 11 to 13 years of age. And this is followed by children aged 7 to 10. The hash statistics that they reviewed showed a clear trend, and a great majority of predators are after imagery of children aged 7 to 13. They do have a YouTube video. I will link that below in my description so that you can go out and watch their YouTube video if you would like to. There's a charity group called Marie Collins Foundation, and Tink Palmer is the CEO, and they help child victims and their families to recover from sexual abuse involving technology. And they told the IWF why online predators gravitate within these age groups. In many cases, it is prepubescent children who are being targeted, and they are less accomplished in their social, emotional, and psychological development. They listen to grown-ups without questioning them, whereas a teenager is more likely to push back against what an adult tells them. Age breakdown of child sexual abuse, 11 to 13-year-old girls are the biggest target. Of course, Abby and Libby fall into that category. The self-generated child sexual abuse content is also on an uptick. 44% of images and videos that were analyzed in 2020 are classed as self-generated child sexual abuse content. This is a 77% increase from 2019, wherein they received 38,400 reports, to 2020, wherein they received 68,000 reports. And self-generated content means that the child victim themselves created the media that online predators propagate within and beyond certain internet platforms. Such content is created with the use of either smartphones or webcams, predominantly by 11 to 13-year-old girls within their homes, usually their bedrooms. And it's created during periods of COVID-19 lockdowns. Content concerning the use of webcams are often produced using an online service with a live streaming feature, such as Omegle, which I had never heard of that. But They said that Europe is found hosting almost all child sexual abuse URLs. The IWF has identified that 90% of the URLs it analyzed and confirmed to house CSAM were hosted in Europe, in which they also included Russia and Turkey. Among all countries in Europe, the Netherlands is the prime location for hosting CSAM, a constant that the IWF has seen throughout the years. Due to the low cost of web hosting, 77% of CSAM are physically hosted on servers in the Netherlands. The IWF report highlights a worrying trend on child victimology and gives us an idea that online predators not only groom their targets, but they also coerce and bully them to do their bidding. And child predators usually frequent platforms that a lot of teenage girls use. Sadly, there is no single measure or piece of technology that can solve the problem of child exploitation. The best protection for children is effective parenting, and the IWF urges parents and guardians to talk to their children. And they use an acronym T.A.L.K, and it's a list of comprehensive and actionable steps that parents and or caregivers can take to help guide their child through a safer online journey as they grow up. So TALK stands for talk to your child about online sexual abuse, start the conversation, and listen to their concerns. Agree about ground rules, about the way you use technology as a family. Learn about the platforms and the apps your children use. Take an interest in their online life and make sure that you know the apps they're using are safe. Know how to use tools, apps, and settings that can help keep your child safe online. If images or videos of your child have ever been shared online, it is important for parents not to ever blame the child. It is not their fault. Instead, reassure them and offer support. And make sure to report it to your local police department about the images or videos. You can also report it to IWF, HOTLINE, or any local equivalent. And I just found that information compelling. I agree, RJ. I don't think there is an online journey that sounds ideal. In this day and age, it's terrifying. There are so many individuals that pose online to be who they're not. And it's not just to children, it's to adults, it's to, it's so easy, I think, out there in this day and age. And it's probably been going on, honestly, since the beginning of the internet, but I just think that we're more aware of it. AJ, thank you so much for putting that up. The Marie Collins Foundation website is here. So if you guys want to check that out, it's a really, really good organization. I like this comment from Smo Mobile. We lock up drug addicts, we yet let child predators on the streets with a slap on the wrist. When is this going to change in our society? These people need locked up forever. I cannot get over not only child sexual predators, child abuse, people who commit child abuse, domestic violence, all of these people, all of these offenders, if you go and look at their crimes and what they've done and the time that they end up getting sentenced for is nothing compared to what we do with drug addicts. we will throw them in jail and throw away the key. And these other predators that can absolutely tear families apart and destroy them, with the sexual abuse and the physical and emotional abuse that they bring about, not only on children, but on other individuals, is just ridiculous that they do not get more time. I've seen it. I think we all have seen it. And the only thing I can say is it starts locally. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but it does. Your local governments are where you need to be taking this, and you need to be demanding change, and from your local law enforcement as well on up. Go to your state legislatures, your senators and representatives, and talk to them and tell them, they work for us, and you have to tell them, we're tired of this. We want something done about this. Laws need to change in our country, and penalties need to be there. The penalties for crimes are so out of whack. It just doesn't make any sense. And we let these predators back out on the streets. And I'm so tired of hearing about predators that get let out by accident. I'm just tired of that. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Six pack, welcome. It's like here in Indiana, they're giving the druggies 60 years, but pedophiles, they're only giving them like 5 years and have them register. Yeah, exactly. I just can't believe that, it's really sad. But what was I gonna say? Where did he go? There he goes. So, I lost my train of thought there for a second. I do want to talk about something else. There are different classifications for sexual predators of children. And I want everybody to know that everyone uses the word pedophile, and pedophiles are only interested in prepubescent children. A hebephile is the correct classification for anyone who's looking for children at the cusp of puberty between the ages of 11 to 14. And that is what Kegan Kline is. He is not a pedophile. He is a hebephile. He admitted that. He admitted to only looking for children between those age ranges. So I just definitely think that, he was looking for girls this age. He's been told that he was talking to them. Libby, he talked to her the morning before she was killed, or right close thereof. And he told someone else that he was supposed to meet up with her and she didn't show up. I think if this isn't enough for us to collectively realize that he is some way directly involved with this case, I think it would be a long, astronomically large coincidence that he's not. And I'm just throwing that out there. I don't feel there's a lot of coincidences in murder. And I just feel that we need to really pay attention to that. I also think this, I was thinking about this over the weekend about why Kagan was let loose for as long as he was after the raid in February of 2017 on the house on the 25th. I feel that the FBI has such a huge CSAM investigation going on. They are trying to find all the people that could be related to that. And I think that they know that they had an eye on him. They had an eye on Tony. I don't think that they felt that there was any real danger, but I also think it's possible that, they really didn't think there was a threat to the public, although I disagree with that because sharing CSAM or collecting CSAM is certainly a threat on the public and on the children that this is happening to. There was a person on Reddit who said that they felt that the FBI is definitely onto him, and they feel that he's been under investigation most likely since the raid on February 25th, and that they see charges coming within the next couple of months, and they feel that that's the reason the case has been delayed until September of this year. Where there's smoke, there is fire. They there's just too many things that add up. I mean, it's kind of like the detective said when he was doing the interrogation. One of these things alone is not that damning, but when you start stacking them and stacking them and stacking them and stacking them, there's just too much. So yeah, the circumstantial case is definitely there. I think that the thing was with Emily Ann, I think there may be been a lot of coded messages in there. If Emily Ann was used to speak with other um, pedophiles or people within this CSAM ring, which I think that they alluded to, I think that it takes a while to decode stuff like that. They have to look at every single video, every single picture and photo of all of this. And as this case gets bigger and they start spreading out, and you start seeing more and more individuals, and then you have to go to that individual's devices, and everything starts exploding. All of this stuff has to be looked at and examined, and the case just becomes astronomical. So I think that, there's a lot of rumors of abuse in the Klein family. There's also a testimony now that we have from the murder sheet with the stepchildren talking about the abuse. Also, the apparent preference for very young children, which is scary. The Google searches that they were doing. But, maybe the meeting of Libby had nothing to do with murder. Maybe it was going to be coercion of some kind, or some way to convince her, to do photos or videos, or maybe they were just going to sexually assault her. And maybe something happened and Bridge Guy's rage flew out of control. And one thing led to another, and they ended up murdered. I mean, we don't know, but those things are all quite possible. I also talked about the other night about the difference in styles of writing and texting between some of these conversations of Anthony Schatz, which obviously the investigators, we're looking at linguistic styles. We all have a distinctive linguistic pattern. It's very similar to fingerprints, and it's very identifiable. Our writing style and the way we speak. So I guarantee you they're looking at all of that. They're getting experts to look at all of that as well. And all of that stuff takes time. I know people don't believe that the special prosecutor is actually got anything to do with Delphi, but I firmly believe that it does. Um, and, you know, we'll have to wait and see. I think that things are happening in the case. I think things are moving forward. And I hope the people that are saying within the next month or two, they're right, because I think we're all ready in this community to have this guy caught and put away. At least I know I am. I am definitely ready for it. And we, most certainly the families are ready for it. So one of the things that I wanted to go over and talk about tonight was how predators have infiltrated social media. One of the things that they're doing now is they're infiltrating the gaming world. There's a huge online gaming world, both with adults as well as with children. And they're making connections and connecting anonymously through these gaming sites. And predators, they just hide behind false identities. They do this to groom children as well as adults. And it's shocking. It's repulsive. And they're doing the same thing on social media. And yes, they're doing it here on YouTube. YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, WhatsApp. These places are not immune to predators. Each of these outlets offer different services, but they all present different opportunities for very, very dangerous activity. We all know that YouTube is a video sharing platform that allows anyone to upload, view, or comment on videos. Individual profiles are called channels, and users can subscribe to their favorites. When videos are posted, viewers get the opportunity to thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment on the videos. The comments section is typically an area where viewers can interact with the channel and spark lively dialogues. However, YouTube faced an issue where the comments section on kid-friendly videos was anything but friendly. The comments section on many kids' videos became a hub for predators. And these predators used the comments section to point out certain parts of the video at specific times to sexualize the children in non-sexual videos. And this is not the first time something like this has been an issue on YouTube. In 2017, YouTube ran into the issue where its algorithm recommended disturbing and sexual videos for children. For a while, it seemed as if YouTube was not taking meaningful action against these predatory comments and accounts. However, YouTube has since made substantial efforts to eliminate this issue. The organization has disabled the comments on videos that feature minors, launched a comments classifier which identifies and removes 2 times more individual comments, and terminated channels that try to compromise our children. This is an ongoing effort, and YouTube encourages the public to continue flagging these harmful accounts should you ever come across them. And I just want to highly recommend all of us out there. We're all YouTube users. We all visit channels. We all look at all different kind of content, I'm sure. If you ever come across any content that you feel is unsafe, or some content, comments, or whatever, whether the commenter is making sexualized comments towards children or about children, please turn them in. This is important. We can't just continue to keep a blind eye to this kind of stuff when we find it. The guidelines for YouTube specifically prohibit the sexualization of minors, yet YouTube is not taking swift or certain actions to stop the predators. They claim to have a zero tolerance policy for the sexualization of minors. Yes, this keeps happening. And I think it's just one of those things again. I mean, it's so easy to just bash the platform. And sure, I feel that they have a huge responsibility, but that's also a huge amount of checking. Can you imagine the number of people they would need to employ to look at all the different videos that are downloaded every moment on YouTube? Stop and think about how big this platform is. We have to do better as consumers when we see this. We have to help them. And flagging this stuff and letting them know, I think, is a perfect way to do that. Now, Snapchat is a social media platform where users can send snaps to one another. And this app is unique because once the recipient opens the snap, the content of the message is available for only a few seconds, and then it will vanish. So essentially, the receiver looks at the snap and then it expires. And in addition to sending snaps, users can add photos or videos to their stories. When someone posts a story, the story is available for their friends' viewing for 24 hours. Once the time is up, the story will disappear. The nature of the disappearing snap can be appealing because users think they can send what they want, consequence-free. There is nothing online that is consequence-free. The logic is that if the recipient of the snap cannot save the message, then the sender can share whatever they want. And that logic is incorrect. Like everything on the internet, when something is out there, it's there to stay. I think that's the message we have to send to our kids, especially. When you put something out on the internet, it's there forever. When messages are sent on Snapchat, the content of the snap gets stored into a database until the recipient opens the message, or forever if you store snaps in memories. This doesn't even account for all the third-party programs that save snaps remotely. And as a result, you can never have complete certainty that the message you sent has gone away. One teen, and often teens, do not realize their snaps will not disappear, so they send risky photos to their friends. This dangerous activity for teenagers because they do not know what the receiver of the message is going to do with the picture, nor do they realize that predators can infiltrate the database that stores these risky photos. Recently, a man gained access to the Snapchat accounts of dozens of underage individuals ages 14 to 16 years old. With this access, the man used threats to extort these victims for sexually explicit content. Thankfully, he has been arrested, but this is not the only time something like this has ever happened. With Instagram, with more than 1 billion users on that platform, Instagram is one of the most popular social media platforms in the world. Instagram is great for sharing photos and videos and interacting with friends and family and bloggers and celebrities. Users can post pictures or videos on a feed and a story where, like Snapchat, the video or image disappears in 24 hours. They communicate with others through comments or the messaging features, or explore different topics through hashtags and the Discover page. A feature on Instagram is the ability to look up or follow hashtags. So, for example, if you love photos and videos of funny dogs, you could follow hashtag funny dogs. That said, not all the hashtags on Instagram are as whimsical as hashtag funny dogs. Just as funny dog enthusiasts have taken advantage of Instagram, so have predators. They have thwarted Instagram's terms of use by using hashtag Dropbox links and other hashtags to locate and share files containing child CSAM. By using the direct message function on Instagram, these predators communicate with one another to share their illegal activity. Since finding out about this, Instagram restricted hashtag Dropbox links and hashtag trade Dropbox links. In a statement to The Atlantic, Instagram revealed they are working on keeping child CSAM off the platform and that they are working on making sure this disturbing content does not find its way back onto Instagram. Alternatively, predators look up seemingly harmless hashtags like hashtag bath time or hashtag diaper change, and they will steal those photos for trading. I have told my friends over and over the years, please do not post the cute pictures of your children and your very young children in the bath. Do not post pictures of you changing your baby's diapers online. There are sick people out there that want those photos, and it's just crazy. A 12-year-old from New York thought she was communicating with another girl her age, but she was actually chatting with a predator. And this little girl did not know she was being lied to until the predator sent her an explicit picture and tried to extort the same from her. Social media is not anonymous, yet you still do not always know if everyone is who they say they are. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, and this allows users to call, message, and video chat people all over the world. This app is easily accessible, and anyone with an internet connection or smartphone, tablet, or computer can use this app as well. And the chat function of WhatsApp is a selling point because of up to 256 people can all be in a chat at once. Users can send documents, PDF files, spreadsheets, and more through the chat function of WhatsApp. WhatsApp uses end-to-end encryption to keep messaging secure, and as a result, the content of conversations is only accessible to the people in the chat. This encryption is so secure that even employees at WhatsApp cannot access encrypted messages. While security measures are typically a good thing, they are being abused on WhatsApp. The encryption has made it possible to spread child CSAM. In fact, there are many groups with their sole purpose of sharing child CSAM, and they are not even hiding it. This kind of information circulates throughout WhatsApp, and these groups are visible for the entire world to see. WhatsApp is supposed to have filters that identify and remove this content, but clearly explicit material falls through the cracks. Not to mention, there are only about 300 employees to go through the activity of a platform with more than 1.5 billion users. So you can see the problem. If you have 300 employees that need to monitor the activity of a platform with more than 1.5 billion users, you can see how it's almost impossible. How could you even do that? Plus, predators use WhatsApp to communicate with children. Often predators will establish contact elsewhere, like a video game, and then move the conversation to a messaging platform such as WhatsApp. And we know that that is what the Anthony Shots profile was doing, because he was communicating, establishing a connection, and then moving them off of that platform into Snapchat or to some other chatting type platform. And, the Innocent Lives Foundation, I found a lot of information from them, and they tell us that they don't want to discourage us from using these social media platforms, because they're great ways for us to connect with our loved ones and have entertainment. However, we just have to encourage everyone to be safe and smart with how you are proceeding while using the internet safely. Your profile should always be set to private. Do not accept friend requests or follow requests from strangers. Never share personal information or photos with strangers online. This is a big one. And only chat online with people you know in real life. Can you imagine that? Did you guys hear what I just said? Only chat online with people you know in real life. Never meet strangers from social media in real life. And parents, if you're looking to keep your children safe further, keep up with their online behavior, control the privacy settings to make sure your children have private accounts, set controls that prevent your children from accepting friend requests without your permission, and obtain your child's passwords and check their accounts often. The Innocent Lives Foundation is dedicated to unmasking anonymous online predators to help bring them to justice. We work closely with law enforcement by developing files and providing actionable evidence to aid in predator prosecution. And we work to allow every child the enjoyment of an innocent life by making a positive impact on their behalf. So that is, I will link the Innocent Lives Foundation below in my description because I really want you guys to know where that is. They have a donate button on their site so you can donate to them. There's a report a case button that you can click on to report internet issues. And it also tells you and talks to you about how to get involved. And I just found it extremely a good organization and one that I wanted to share with you. And it's true, Corgi Mama. She says, obviously, our children are not safe from this, even if they don't have a phone. No, our children can get the internet at school, in the libraries at their school. Children can be in science class on the internet. These things, wherever your child can have access to the internet, if they have a tablet, predators can gain access to those. Anything that they use that's technology in that fashion, whether it's your computer at home, whether it's an iPad or a tablet, or they're accessing it through school, they can find the internet. So, or their friends, exactly. They can obviously use their friends' phones or their friends' electronics. So I just thought that, that was, like I said, worth sharing. There was one thing that, we were talking about with Delphi, the largest pornography investigation in Indiana's history. This person posted on Reddit, pretty simple thoughts to follow here for this theory. They know Tony Klein and Kagan Klein did the crime. The holdup has not been due to lack of evidence. The holdup was that making Emily Ann and Anthony shots public would have alerted all the other predators and given them the opportunity to delete the evidence against them. Hence why they did nothing for all of those years. So law enforcement put Kagan Klein and Tony Klein on what would be called unofficial house arrest. While behind the scenes, law enforcement arrests dozens, if not hundreds, of pedophiles and CSAM predators. Kagan shared the Dropbox links and exchanged photos with who knows how many sickos out there, and each photo would need to be investigated and each account identified. And I wouldn't even be surprised if arrests related to this case reached the 1,000 mark. Since 2017 in Indiana, how many arrests have you read about related to child pornography were made? How many do we think could be linked to Kagan or Tony Klein? Time will tell. My guess is Kagan's stupidity has probably put many of them behind bars. And I just thought that that was a really interesting thought process that was going on there by that Redditor. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And so one of the last things that I really wanted to go over with you guys tonight or talk to you about was a lot of what we've been seeing lately and what we do see regarding dealing with aggression online and managing anger and aggressive behavior. I think that all of us have had it happen to us at one time or another while we've been on social media, not just necessarily surrounding Delphi or this case, but just in general. And at the root of aggression is an anger system. Anger is an essential human feeling and emotion. We all have it, right? Every one of us. It's likely that, humans developed an anger system to protect and enforce our own interests against those of other people, other creatures, and from environmental threats. Ironically, though, if we did not have an anger system, we would not, in all likelihood, maintain our social networks or improve them. Anger actually allows us to express our concern for one another. In expressing our anger, we may incite another to respond with an apology or change in behavior, and this in turn leads to the relationship actually improving and getting repaired. This happens with individuals, within families, communities, and at the national and international level. Anger may lead to war and conflict, but it also leads society to rectify or respond to social injustices. But anger is activated by triggers, and these triggers vary from person to person and by age, gender, and culture. Women are often triggered by their close relationships. For instance, they may feel let down by family members and friends. According to studies conducted into anger and gender, men are more likely to be angered by objects that don't work correctly, encounters with strangers, and societal issues. Children's anger is most often rooted, when they are blocked from doing something that they truly have set their minds on that they want to do. And a temper tantrum comes into mind when you think, you've taken their toys away. Anger, when it is emoted, encompasses everything from mild irritation to intense rage. And let's see. When a cartoon character gets angry, steam comes out of the ears. We see things like, that makes my blood boil. In real life, the response varies from individual to individual, but typical indicators include grinding teeth, clenching fists, or going red and flushed. We may go pale, experience numbness or muscle tension. Sometimes we get hot and clammy. However, when anger turns into aggression, steps must be taken. Aggression in general terms is defined as harmful behavior which violates social conventions and which may include deliberate intent to harm or injure other people. These include overt aggression, passive aggression, covert aggression, verbal aggression, and a newer frequent form of aggression, online aggression, which can be overt or passive in form. Anonymity is one aspect behind aggressive online behavior. People are more aggressive and forthright online because they're anonymous and can act unpleasantly without immediate consequences. Anonymity or operating undercover enables people to do things they wouldn't ordinarily do. Online harassment is on the rise, and the problem of cyber harassment has escalated in the recent time. Some individuals, including politically prominent people and celebrities, have taken to naming and shaming and or prosecuting those who are aggressive online. Cyberbullying, e-bullying, or trolling is intrusive and a form of psychological abuse. This type of bullying takes place through online forums such as social networking sites, messaging apps, gaming sites, and in chat rooms such as Facebook, Xbox Live, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. Cyber harassment is the act of sending offensive, rude, and insulting messages and being abusive. It may involve denigration. This is when someone sends information or shares photos about another person that is false, damaging, and untrue for the purpose of ridiculing or spreading malicious rumors and gossip about them. Flaming. This is when someone purposely uses extreme and offensive language and gets into online arguments and fights. They do this to cause reactions, and they enjoy the fact that it causes someone distress. Impersonation. This is when someone hacks into another person's email or social networking account and uses that person's online identity to send or post vicious or embarrassing material to and about others. Outing and trickery. This is when someone tricks a person into revealing secrets about themselves and then forwards these and other personal information to third parties. They may also do this with private images and videos. This can take the form of doxing. The term derives from an alteration of the abbreviation of docs, documents, and is an activity in which someone openly reveals and publicizes information about an individual for revenge via the violation of privacy. And then we have cyber stalking. This is an act of harassment in which the stalker repeatedly sends intimidating messages, which may include threats of harm or engages in other online activities that make a person afraid for his or her safety. Exclusion. This is when others intentionally leave someone out of a group, such as group messages, online apps, gaming sites, and other online engagement. This is a form of social mistreatment. And doxing, we talked about. This is a controversial issue as it highlights the conflicts surrounding freedom of information. For example, the internet-based group of hacktivists, Anonymous, became known for a series of well-publicized stunts and for disturbed denial of service attacks on government and corporate websites. They make frequent use of doxing, as do related groups like Antisec and LutSec. The latter came to international prominence after hacking the websites of the Public Broadcasting Service, Sony, and the United States Senate. These groups claim that they aim to protest government censorship and monitoring of the internet, and supporters call members of these groups freedom fighters and digital Robin Hoods, while critics describe them as cyber lynch mobs or cyber terrorists. As soon as you determine that you're being harassed by someone, tell that person in clear terms to stop contacting you and leave it there. You do not need to explain why. Just state that you do not want the person to contact you. Keep a record of the messages. A normal initial reaction upon receiving harassing emails or messages is to delete the communications. However, it is extremely important to save every communication you have with the harasser. If you receive phone calls from the harasser, your local phone company can help trace them. Do not destroy any evidence, and as soon as you can, turn that evidence over to the police. Complain to the appropriate parties. It can at times be a little difficult for people to determine who the appropriate party is. But if you are harassed in a chat room, contact whoever runs the server being used. If you're harassed on any kind of instant messaging service, read the terms of service and harassment policies provided, and use any contact address given there. If someone has created a website to harass you, complain to the server on which the site is hosted. If you're being harassed via email, complain to the email service like Hotmail or Gmail used to send the messages. Holding the harasser to account. If the circumstances and behavior of the harasser are threatening to your safety and your well-being, report the harasser to the police immediately. However, online communication is nearly impossible to effectively monitor and could have dire consequences for freedom of speech. The best way to deal with online negative and aggressive behavior is to refuse to engage with it. If, as a collective body, we refuse to respond or engage with aggressive online behavior, then we have a better chance of making it socially unacceptable. Therefore, we each need to do our own individual part online to assert pro-social communication over anti-social forms. I just wanted to go over all of that with you guys tonight because there has been a lot of aggressive behavior and targeting of certain people in the YouTube community. And I wanted to make sure that we all know how we can resolve this and what we need to do. And the most important thing that we can do in all of this is not to engage in it. It's the most important thing. And so everything that's going on out there, whether it's creators attacking creators, whether it's commenters attacking creators, whether it's trolls coming into our chats and attacking us, we all have the ability to ban. We all have the ability to kick. If any creators are in my channel right now, I would highly recommend that you look at getting a Nightbot account. It seriously can help you with all of this as well. And stay in tune and stay in touch with your core creators, the people that are around you that you trust or know, and let people know if you're having trouble with certain individuals so that people can be on the lookout for them, because trolls are out there and they're constantly changing their personas, and it makes it so difficult to know who it is that you're dealing with. We know that there's a lot of crazy online. We've all been exposed to it. And little Pookie says something wonderful here. Know who you give a wrench to also. It's really important for us as content creators to make sure that when we are passing out our moderator wrenches, that we know who these people are and what they stand for. And it's very difficult, as I said, online. So try to build those relationships. Even sometimes when you do, you find out that it's not the people that you think they are. And it can be very hurtful. We all have an agenda here, and our agenda is the Delphi case on this channel. That's my base case, basically. I think many of us came to this platform to do good work. I don't believe that there's a lot of people out there that are not here for the right reasons. There are a handful of them, maybe more. We all know who they are. We've all seen them. We've all been, exposed to their content. It doesn't take rocket science to figure out if someone is exploiting a case or whether or not someone is actually working to do good. There are going to be people that flock to that kind of content. Let them. But utilize the tools that we have. And for those of us who have Discord channels for our YouTube channel, be careful there as well, because it infiltrates into others. And I want to say this too, if you are another content creator out there and you have a community of subscribers who are loyal to you or whatever, please let them know what you stand for and make sure that they are aware that you don't want them going to other channels and bashing them or going into other people's live streams and talking terrible things about people, because all that negativity does is take away from this case. And I'm so tired of it. I had to speak out about it tonight. Um, it's Little Pookie said she's been a victim of this for over 15 months. I'm so sorry because I didn't know about that, Pookie. I'm really sorry. It's sad that we have people out there that are just wanting to do damage and create chaos. I don't know why people want to do that. I think there's a lot of mental illness online. Hey, DMG. So good to see you. How are things over there in Scotland? I think we have a lot of lonely people that are online and they are looking to make friends or possibly other, reasons, whatever. But we have to rise, as AJ said, we have to rise above. We have to take the high road, and just not interact with this kind of behavior. And I think as creators, if we can all come together and agree to do that, if we would take some of this negativity that surrounds this community and get rid of it and put together the positivity, the amount of things that we would be capable of doing and the good that we would be able to do would be enormous. And Annie said the families do find out what is being said in our discords. Of course they do, because believe it or not, there's family members everywhere, and you don't know that. And that's like I said early on when I first started my channel. There's family members in here. There are family members that come in here, and we need to always be mindful of that when we're conversing with each other, when we're talking about it. And Jennifer, you are so right. Some people just love drama and they just thrive on it. And I feel bad for those people, honestly. But I want to get back to making content and not having to deal with all of this. I know Graz warned me about this when I started my channel. He's like, Kristen, you're not going to believe what goes on behind the scenes on YouTube. And I'm just like, oh, it can't be as bad as it was on Reddit. Come on. Good Lord. It's 100% worse here than what it is on Reddit, as far as I'm concerned. And, I just want it to stop. And thank you, Maria. I agree. I think this is something we needed to discuss. And I know that a lot of people are probably thinking, she's just up on her soapbox and whatever. And truly, I'm not. I really believe in this topic. And there's just been too much. There's just been a lot of hate and blame and treating people just horribly. And I just can't stand back and not say anything about it anymore. It's I think what I need to say is, YouTube is a place that I come to work on something that I feel extremely passionate about, but YouTube is not my life. I have a life outside of YouTube. And for those people who don't and feel like they're online 24/7, you might want to take a check of that and just step away for a while, because we all need mental health breaks. And it doesn't help any of us when we get that narrow focus onto something and if we get wrapped up in it. So Jennifer says it really well. She says, if it's causing my life to be worse, I leave. Life's too short. And boy, isn't that true. Jennifer, by the way, I just think you're the best. I just have to say that. She's a terrific moderator. Just so you guys know, she is really the best. I we all just need a break. It's just like life. But there's a lot of stress here and a lot of anxiety, and I try to keep it out of here. I really do. I think you guys know that. I love that I can have an open discussion with you guys and we can talk about these things and not have fighting going on in the chat. Um, and I'm not, Tony, I'm not going to talk about who these people are or who these names are. It doesn't matter. We by doing that, it just perpetuates everything that's going on. So we're not going to talk about that. If you've been in any of the channels, you're going to know a little bit about what's been going on. And, I'm just saying, it goes in cycles. It seems to be that YouTube goes in cycles, and I've only been doing this since January, the end of January. But I'm just telling you what I see. It's like we have a calm period and then we have a storm. Then we have a calm period and then we have a storm. And I'm not sure why, and I'm not sure what's going on. But my Reddit sub, Delphi's Daughters, I started that sub because of the horrible hate and vitriol and infighting and harassing and doxing that was going on the Libby and Abby sub last year. And I said, enough is enough. So in September, I started my own subreddit. And I'm telling you, all it takes is to put in place some rules and then follow them. That's all you have to do, and make sure that your community that you are building understands what your rules are. No, Tony, it's fine. I know. I didn't mean to make it sound like that either. I just wanted you to know that, there's a lot going on YouTube around the Delphi case in some of the channels. And that's all we're talking about, we don't want to perpetuate it by giving them air or airwaves. So yes, please don't think that I was upset with you. I just was letting you know. We really need to have those rules in place, and whenever you start fighting with people in chats or getting into arguments with people in chats, a lot of times that's what that troll or person is hoping that you'll do, because it's going to take away from the show or whatever it is that you're watching. And, don't let them have that power over you. Take the high ground. Ignore them. People don't like being ignored. We as human beings, it's one of the worst things that most of us, can do is be ignored. We just don't like it. DMG says YouTube is like a reality TV show where everyone starts off being decent and then a week later people are at each other's throats. It's so true. What I see is like you're on this island together and everybody's supposed to be getting along and everybody's friends and whatever. And 3 weeks in, people are creating problems. They're talking this or talking that and saying this behind this person's back or whatever is happening. And the next thing you know is you just have a complete chaos and mess. So and Melodramatic Monday, I cannot agree with you more. It is sad that some cases seem to bring out the most toxic people. I have had this conversation with so many people over the months about Delphi, actually over the 5 years. What is it about Delphi that brings out these toxic type people? I don't know, but it's doggone scary. That's all I can say. So And there are, Jennifer, you're right. Unfortunately, there are bad people everywhere. And yeah, they're supposed to be, Terry. They certainly are. These people are supposed to be adults. So, yeah. I like what AJ says. Truth is like surgery. It hurts, but it cures. A lie is like a painkiller. It gives instant relief, but has side effects forever. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of being lied to. I'm tired of people pretending with me. I'm tired of people trying to, you know, change the narrative, I guess, is what I see. And I'm just tired of it. I mean it in all honesty. I do not like drama. I want it left away from me. And if you're going to create drama around me, you will be banned from my channel and I will not talk to you anywhere. I'm just putting that out there. I don't want to sound like I'm a bitch, but that is exactly how I feel. And I just have to say it. Let's see. Dana says, the people that love drama know where to go to get fed. If you have a channel of integrity, they will eventually go away. If you have a channel of lies and rumors, they will keep coming back. And that's the truth. I think she's absolutely spot on there. Because I think all of us know the channels where you can go find that if you want it. And I just don't want any part of it anymore. It just takes, it's soul sucking. It sucks the life right out of you. It just does. And I love that title too. Melodramatic Monday. What a great title. I love it. There we go. Say it again. Say it again, AJ. Many will try to destroy your life with lies because they know theirs can be destroyed with the truth. And I am so I am so tired of people hiding behind lies and pretending. And I think that that's where I got to be this last few days on YouTube. And like I said, and the drama. I just don't want it anymore. And I'm glad you guys are here. I really think that my community is great. I'm not I'm happy to have all of you here. I'm so happy to have the ones who are so loyal that come to all of my all of my live chats. And I don't have a person of interest in Delphi. Gang. I don't. But yeah, I'm just, I want to have a channel where people feel that they can be comfortable here and they can enjoy conversation and there's not all the drama and it's just crazy. So you guys are so nice. You guys are so nice. But yeah, is there anything else that people want to talk about tonight? I mean, how did you guys feel about the content that I shared with you? Did you find it informative? Were you, are you liking the fact that I'm sharing that kind of content with you? Do you think it's helpful? I saw somebody say that it was really boring. I was like, well, then you should go. But I can't please everyone, but I try to find topics that I think that most people might be interested in around Delphi. Obviously, there's nothing happening in Delphi every single day, and there's only so much we can talk about. And especially when you're sticking to fact-based content. I just thank you, Annie. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Daz. But yeah, you just want to make sure that what you are presenting to your community is something that they want to see. I don't want to be on here and giving you guys stuff you don't want to hear about. So I want to inform and I want to help you. Thank you, little Pookie. She says it's interesting to learn terms the children are using in the apps. I didn't know about a lot of these things. I know WhatsApp is huge overseas. I have relatives over there that use it, and we use it as, to communicate. I don't care for the app very much, but I know that it's used and it's huge. And I know it's not as big in the States, or I didn't think it was until I started researching some of this stuff. And when you start doing the research, thank you, Brad. Thank you so much for your support, by the way. Yeah, I just think we just need to keep pounding that away. And the more people that we can reach about, especially about the online predator situation, the better it's going to be for our kids, because um I don't know. I just think that we need to do more to protect our children, and it's something that bothers me. I don't know if you guys all heard the news this week. A couple days, I think it was a couple days ago, they found a 5 to 8 year old little boy in the woods. He'd only been there less than a week, murdered, obviously, and nobody has reported a 5 to 8 year old boy missing. Another sad and tragic story in Indiana. This was in southeastern Indiana, I think, or southwestern. I can't remember. Yes, Jennifer, in Indiana. And it really broke my heart to hear about it. I can't imagine. Yes, there was it the suitcase that was found? Because was that the same one, Maria? Because I didn't know that he was originally found in that. I thought that the mushroom hunters found him, but I didn't realize it was a suitcase. Um, oh, that's crazy. I did not know that. Ugh, it's just sad. Who does stuff like that to a child? I mean, it is so sad. Thanks, Melodramatic Monday. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Because yeah, it's like I said, I try to find topics that I think you guys will be interested in, and always helping to try to keep our children safe is first and foremost on my minds. I do want to let you guys all know that I have a big show coming up on Saturday. It'll be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And my live stream that night I'm going to have a very special guest. I'm super excited to have him with me. But I'm going to have Perry Freeman from Cop Facts is going to be joining us on Saturday night, and it'll be a great show. I hope everyone comes, and please make sure you let your friends know. He has an amazing channel. If one of my mods could drop Perry's YouTube channel information in the chat, I would appreciate it. I will link his channel in my description as well. He is a retired detective, and he is so I just don't know how to say it. He's really, really good. He just dropped a new video, and it's actually a short film that he made using Tech Death Hippie, who is one of my mods in here. He used Tech Death's music for it. Thank you, Maria, so much for doing that. And it's on trafficking, on human trafficking. So if you haven't had a chance to go look for it and see it, please head over to his channel, like and subscribe to him, and watch that video. I cried at the end of it. Yeah, I get a little emotional, but being female and watching that was extremely difficult. And all I can say is I feel that video, that short film of his, should be shown in our schools to our girls and to our boys. I just do. It needs to be out there. Um, it just does. So I'm really excited for him, you guys, and I'm so happy that he agreed to come on and be my guest. Um, so we're gonna have him on Saturday night. So something to look forward to. Um, Pookie said, I'm concerned more children that have been smuggled in will be found. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that they find more children. They continue to find and locate more of these children that are having this horrific CSAM abuse, and that they rescue them. That's what I'm looking for and hoping for. One of the other things I wanted to mention while I got all you guys in here is um, I am, and I said it last week and I just didn't get a chance to do it. I'm going to plan on doing it for sure tomorrow, but I am going to link and have a PayPal account for anyone who does want to donate to me. I finally made the decision to go ahead and do it. And I do want to be able to give a portion of those donations monthly to something that we as a community vote on. And there's a whole bunch of different places that we can give this money to, and I want to be able to do that. So I'll be putting together with my moderators a list of those places that we can look into. There's the Doe Project. There's the uh, I think there's the DNA Fund itself. Um, Rain. We can look at all kinds of different things. So it'll be interesting, Digital. He might be able to talk about it. We'll see what he has to say. He, like I said, he was in law enforcement for a very long time, and he was undercover for a while. He infiltrated a biker gang. He wrote a book about that. It's out on Amazon, and we'll be talking about his book um, on Saturday. So, yeah, I'm sure that there will be a lot of different things that we can talk about, and there will be some things he won't be able to answer. So don't be shocked if there are some questions you guys try to ask him that he may not be able to answer. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. But um, Pookie said, where I live, there are piles of sexual assault cases piling up because the city does not have any money for DNA. I bet we could connect some dots if DNA was done for the does and assault cases. You know what? I think you're right on that. I also I want to look into, if somebody wants to do that, they can. I want to look into giving possibly to law enforcement agencies that have a huge backlog of rape kits. That would be something else that we could do as well to help get the rape kits analyzed. Some of these law enforcement agencies don't have the money to do this. What is it, Brad? I'd really like to know more about the UC guys in Delphi. I'm not sure who UC guys are. Undercover guys? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. But yeah, I those are that. So just you guys just keep thinking about it and let me know. You guys can send me an email. We can talk about it in here one night. I can do a poll and we can try to figure out, what people want to do. And then I'll set up a calendar and we'll pick, every month we'll pick a place to donate to. I know that we're small and we're not going to have the same impact that Gray Hughes has, but every little bit helps. And I think it's good to try to do something. So Yeah, I think we can make a difference as well, and that's what I'm here for. That's why I started my channel, because I did wanna make a difference, and you guys are helping me do that because you show up and you listen to me for this hour and a half. So, I appreciate you all. I really do. It's been a great live tonight. I'm glad that you were all here with me. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for the night because I think you've listened to me enough. But, um, I do wanna just say, um, everybody be safe out there and take care of yourself. Please take care of your mental health. Um, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you have mental health issues, the stigma behind that's out there with that needs to be squashed and done. No one should be ashamed about talking about their mental health issues. And I want people to reach out. If they need help, reach out. And I just thank all of you. I really appreciate you. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Um, I may be live again on Thursday. It will depend on a couple of different things, but there's something I'm working on for a video, so how that goes will depend. But yeah, I think I might do a short live on Thursday night. But anyway, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, and everyone have a great, great rest of your week.